Welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Immortal Hulk. One of the best Hulk books in a long time.
Yeah?
Yeah, and...
Says who?
Says everybody.
Oh.
Specifically me.
Right.
Oh, okay.
What does the person on the back say?
A dark, compelling revamp of a familiar Marvel hero.
Yeah, but that's IGN.
Okay.
They do, like, game reviews. What are they doing reviewing comics?
Horning in on my territory. This is a much celebrated run by Al Ewing with art by Joe Bennett. It's probably the best Hulk book in a long time. And that's saying a lot because there are a lot of celebrated runs of the Hulk.
There are.
And also a lot of forgotten runs of the Hulk.
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah, which is why if you go to the description, you can grab a copy of this volume down there because I highly recommend it. If you're like, I'm on the events about Hulk, meh, it's actually amazing because like Al Ewing is like the perfect Marvel writer. He knows continuity, but he also isn't a slave to it and knows how to like manipulate it so that it can tell a new story, but it's also earned.
Like, I'm not breaking it.
Yeah.
I'm more bending it to my will.
I guess so, yeah. It's like he's the Scarlet Witch and continuity is his chaos magic.
Okay.
He manages to, you're reading something and you're like, that doesn't seem like that makes sense. Then you check back and you're like, it totally does. That's totally warranted. You got me. You got me, Ewing, again.
Never mind, it checks out.
Yeah, checks out. Shit. Damn it. I'm just enjoying it. Oh. But that doesn't make any sense, though. When I'm reading a comic book, I have to pore over something I hate and pick apart every single moment that doesn't work, and then go on public social media and then, you know, bring them to task.
Right. Take them down.
That's right. Hoist them by their own petard.
Get them
can't
off
do
that
this.
that
Al Ewing
pedestal.
Because in this issue, this happened.
Right, and Ewing is like, read it again, dipshit. Except he wouldn't do that because he's actually a really nice guy. The context you need to actually read this are two events, neither of which you need to read. But you should watch the episodes of Back Issues.
Oh, okay.
Although, if you like those stories, you should read them. But Civil War II, don't read. It's the worst thing ever. But in Civil War II, Hawkeye shoots an unarmed man named Bruce Banner in the face with an arrow, and he dies. The end. Okay, no more of Bruce Banner the Hulk. Let's get him out of here. And we'll never see the Hulk again, ever, ever.
Oh, I'm sure.
Then, a little time later, they did Avengers No Surrender, which is arguably one of the best Avengers events in the last, like, 5-10 years.
Well, it wasn't a secret.
It wasn't a secret nor a war, though I would say Secret Wars was also amazing, but I wouldn't call that an Avengers event so much as I call that a Marvel event. So, No Surrender, the Challenger, some new villain that was created for that event, which is actually not bad. He's kind of fun. He's a cosmic character, so for me, I'm like, pfft. Call me when he goes to Queens or Hell's Kitchen, and then we'll talk. But the Challenger...
I can relate to him.
Exactly. Challenger resurrects the Hulk as a kind of like rogue piece in his cosmic game against the Grandmaster.
Right.
Yet another incarnation
Version
of
of the Hulk that can talk.
Yeah, articulately
But it's
and
a
still be
little
strong.
different.
He's
Yeah.
been to the other side.
What's his status quo now that he is
Right.
resurrected?
Once
Is he
after
brooding?
that battle.
Like sitting in a giant lounge chair, just like swirling a brandy.
That would be the Maestro. We got to wait another 40 or 50 years before that happens. But this is a Hulk that you would expect. You know, it's Bruce Banner wandering the American countryside, getting into adventures.
That's not what I expect.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
Hulk
that's
does.
If the Hulk is articulate,
school
I
Hulk.
assume that he's gonna like.
Just be Hulk all the time.
Right? No, because now that the Hulk is back, the Hulk only comes out at night,
What?
as Bruce Banner says.
Like a werewolf?
Yeah, the night is the Hulk's time.
Hulk by night?
Yeah, Hulk by night.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So he's a werewolf allegory.
Yes, but and actually, like I said earlier, there's a precedent for that. That was actually a thing.
Oh?
Yeah, that like I think there was a period when the Hulk was gray. If sunlight hit him, boom, went back to being Bruce Banner.
Oh.
That like it was a werewolf allegory.
Okay.
All right.
So like
the nighttime is the Hulk's time because like that's when evil stuff gets done.
I guess,
guess,
yeah. Like narratively speaking, that's true. In
that-
this, it's more just like when the night comes, the Hulk arrives.
Is that also, I never read it, but is that also a reference to, or similar to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
Did Mr. Hyde come out at night?
Right? I don't know.
actually know.
I don't remember if the Hulk...
Because Hulk is clearly...
a Jekyll Hyde allegory.
Yeah.
I mean, one is a doctor
Yeah.
who messes with science and becomes a seemingly
machine.
malevolent. Yeah,
Yeah.
except Mr. Hyde is like a he's
He's a murderer. He's a bad
Yeah,
person.
he's
he's
a
real bad.
horribly violent creature.
Yeah, where the Hulk is sometimes, he's more of an anti-hero, I guess.
Yeah. He smashes. He doesn't like rape.
Right.
Does Mr. Hyde rape? Is
Yes.
that? Oh, I never read it. I don't know anything about it.
It's rough. There's a dude who is driving up to a gas station, and if you like, look, he's got a revolver.
Oh, he's
So
gonna
we're like,
rob
oh,
it.
We're gonna see a gas station robbery.
Yeah.
And we set up the scene. There's like a 12-year-old girl who walks into the gas station while the mom is pumping gas. There's a dude who's wearing a baseball cap, trying very hard to be incognito. Obviously, it's Bruce Banner, and he's just kind of like taking in the scene. And the 12-year-old girl thinks he's just being a creep, so she avoids him. Then the behoodied protagonist of this narrative here in the beginning of the story comes in.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I was looking to see what the Hulk was reading.
Oh, he's reading the National
tabloids.
Investigator tabloid
About him.
about the Hulk being back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not
He's a
Mini Trucker
narcissist.
Magazine.
He's a narcissist.
So the clerk asks the guy who just came in, "Which pump are you?"
Yeah.
Because outside of New Jersey, you can pump your own gas. And
Yes.
It's really convenient.
Yeah.
So then,
What sort of sorcery is this?
I know. But it's such a complicated machine.
It's
How
so
can you possibly
dangerous.
do it? Yeah. You mean you're trusting John Q. American to operate a petroleum lever? Like I'm gonna pull this out and not just spray it all over the thing. Haven't you ever seen Zoolander? You know
how easy it
how
is?
easy it is and how many
Yeah.
gas stations erupt in
just
flames.
accidentally,
Yeah.
you know,
Much like
under
that-
normal
and
The
that's
Midwest
operation.
is just strife with that.
Yeah, and we're not even talking about like the people who do it on purpose, just accidentally alone.
Yeah.
2/3 of all gas stations burned down because of misuse. That's why New Jersey and Oregon are smart.
Yeah, I think Oregon changed, didn't they?
Oh, yeah,
Instead of
they
just
did.
yeah.
Anyway, so the dude with the hoodie, he goes up to the guy and he pulls out his gun. He's like, "No alarms." He's clearly nervous.
Right.
He's young and he's inexperienced. And he says, "Just open the register." The 12-year-old girl drops her soda, and the hoodie guy shoots her down.
Ah,
Then
she made a noise.
yes. Then Bruce Banner says, "You just killed a 12-year-old girl." Right before he finishes saying that, dude shoots him in the head. Bruce Banner's dead. Boom. Hits the ground.
What?
Wow.
Then the clerk starts begging for his life. Dude shoots the clerk death.
Wow.
We see the mother scream for her daughter's life.
Yeah.
And the dude doesn't shoot her either?
No. Surprisingly enough, he doesn't blow her away.
See, that's a shame because your daughter
Oh,
is
now she's
dead.
got to live with
Yeah.
him. Yeah, I guess that's
That's dark, but
True.
like, that's kind of crazy.
yeah. So we meet these two.
I'm going to leave one witness.
Yeah, no, it's true. Well, we need the one witness in order to keep the story going. Otherwise, it's a perfect crime and he gets away with it.
Oh, there's a camera, I'm sure.
No, that's true.
Cops can go off
and
of
they
that.
do use the camera. We meet these two people, the Detective Mays and reporter, whose name is McGee, and they're both talking about the crime. And basically, the detective's like giving the reporter information about everything that happened, so that they can flush out who did it. They don't really know who it is. They don't have a
Trying to get
positive
word
idea.
out to
Exactly.
Yeah, get a lead generated. Okay.
They make a point of saying that the John Doe in the morgue now looked really familiar. Because they don't set up that it's Bruce Banner who dies in the opening. But,
Sure.
like, if you're reading a Hulk book, you know.
You know who it is.
But like his eyes also go a little green.
That's true, they do. So then we're in the morgue, and then like one of the bodies grows green, and then escapes.
I don't
Right.
get this. Was he actually dead?
Yes, that's the new status quo for the Hulk. Is that like Bruce Banner can die.
But the
But the
Hulk
Hulk-
keeps bringing him back.
The Hulk will always live.
And once he's done being the Hulk, Bruce Banner is fine.
Yes. Yeah, it's not like it's not like when the Hulk is done and the light comes out, he becomes a corpse again. And like
See, that would be the Immortal Hulk.
It's like Swiss Army Man, where like a person has to carry Bruce Banner around in order to do good. It's like a buddy cop movie. It's like
That's
Weekend at
hilarious.
Bernie's and Swiss Army Man all at once.
What? I don't understand how that works. Bruce Banner's been dead for like hours.
Yes.
And then the Hulk just, I guess because it's night,
Night.
he's like, well, I didn't die.
Yes.
But then why does Bruce Banner come back to life?
Because
after...
I healed the body.
Oh, I healed Bruce's body when I was reactivated.
Yeah.
That's...
Okay.
I much preferred the... As the bullet enters him, he hulks
out and deflects
like that,
it.
I can understand.
I agree, but this is a horror book. At the end of the day, they're like, no, we're doing something new and different with the Hulk.
Okay.
The Hulk is changed. He is weird and creepy, and like he can smell lies now and stuff like that. Like he's got new powers.
Okay.
And
Because he was brought back by the Challenger.
yes,
Yeah.
and the Hulk
Or the Grandmaster, one of them.
The
I
the,
can't
Challenger.
remember
the
who did it.
Challenger. But also Bruce Banner can die, and it's kind of like
But only
Wait.
for a day.
yeah.
But the Hulk can't die, right?
Yes,
like,
that's right.
We don't.
No, and they prove
We don't
that
destroy
to
him.
an excessive degree later on in the series. That the Hulk cannot die.
Right.
Okay.
But Bruce Banner can. And I think the idea here is that like Bruce Banner wants to die, and Bruce Banner's always like wanted to die and tried to die,
Mm.
but he can't now. And now he's like got living, dying proof of it every time
Right.
something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Now, what I was worried about with the series was that every issue Bruce Banner was going to die.
Yes.
And then
That'd
it was going
be-
to be like a creepy resurrection man Hulk book. But instead, it's simply that
Sometimes he
I'll say
he
this:
dies.
it would be funnier if he had to die
in order to bring
the Hulk
Oh
out.
my
Yes.
God.
Kill me!
Like
would
that'd
be-
be
awesome.
And he only comes out at night afterwards then.
Right.
And then like when the sun rises, he's Bruce Banner again. He's Bruce Banner for like months at a time until
Right.
he dies again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thankfully they don't make it that complicated, or need that much time to elapse. So then we go back to this this hacienda that is operated by this biker gang,
Okay.
and the would-be.
I'm sorry,
thief-
I have issue with that. They are motorcycle enthusiasts.
Oh no, they're a gang because the kid who murdered those people and robbed the gas station is working for them.
Ah.
He's not a biker though. He is just in their debt. He owes them money.
Okay.
He's got a family and kids, and he got into debt, and he worked something out with this gang
Yeah.
to do like a simple smash and grab job, and it went bad, and he's trying to like he's basically regaling the leader of the gang. He's like, I'm not really a bad guy. I didn't do anything. Like, I mean, like, she made a noise. I don't normally, use guns anyway.
Yeah, I was terrified, so I shot her.
Exactly. And they're like,
I like that. He's like, "Where's the money, though?" Just like, "But I murdered 3 people."
right.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
did kill 3 people.
yeah, but
for
where's
you.
the money though? He's like, oh, I have that. He's like, okay,
Oh.
well, give me all of it because like that's the interest on what you owe me. Now go make more.
Right.
So he
I'm
leaves.
gonna be doing this forever.
No.
No. Just a few more jobs and you're out.
Yeah, I mean, well, according to the biker gang, no. Like, you are. According to the Hulk, we're going to give you a reprieve. You won't have to do this forever.
Okay.
So, as they're talking about this, they hear this horrible sound. It's obviously the Hulk showing up, but, like, it's just a big thoom. The biker gang scramble. The dude runs away, and the leader of the biker gang, like, tries to rally his troops. He's like, to me! These giant green hands just blast out of the wall and then collect him.
Oh, yikes.
And it's just this really cool, like, stalking horror show.
Yeah.
Where, so this idiot asshole, he's running away from the carnage that he hears. He just hears people, like, screaming, shoot his eyes! Try to shoot his eyes! It's the Hulk! Ah! They don't say it's the Hulk, but
Right.
we know who it is. Guy's trying to start his car.
Oh,
Gets
no.
the keys into the door. They drop. He has to pick them up. Then all of it stops. He hears nothing. He turns around. House is just empty, dark. Pulls out his gun. And he's like, is anyone still there? You turn the page. You get this huge double-page splash of the Hulk.
Awesome.
And the Hulk says, Sandra Ann Brockhurst. That was her name. So, and then the Hulk like torments him. The
Like,
Hulk is
psychologically?
yes. He's like, he goes, man, how does that gun feel in your hand? I bet it didn't feel as heavy at the range. When you were learning how to shoot it. It felt heavy though now. Like when you were in that store, heavy with stopping power. Like you felt like you had power in your hands, didn't you? And he's like, oh, I'm not a bad guy. He's like, just take me to jail. Just take me to jail. We'll go.
Right.
And he says, I have a family. And he goes, oh, you don't say. He just looks down at him. And it's just like the way it's composed, you're just looking up at this looming green horrible monster. I'm not a bad guy, am I? And the Hulk then responds. He smiles and he says, what do you think? As he's going for him. And you're like, oh,
Yikes.
this is really scary.
Yeah.
Then we cut back to McGee, who is investigating the Hulk. McGee is now going to be our ride-along character. She is going to be following the Hulk along these adventures, trying to get answers, because she has a weird history with the Hulk.
I don't like this.
Yeah, why is it about like bullying the Hulk? The murderer is this guy. The
Oh,
Hulk
I know,
didn't
yeah, but no, she's
murder
not trying to bring
anybody.
him in. She's trying to get the story. She's a local news reporter
I see.
who's basically got like the exclusive on
She
this
just
big
wants to know what's up with the Hulk.
But
Right?
she has a
What's Hulk
history with
doing?
him.
She does. She has a secret history with the Hulk that she will reveal later in the story.
Secret history?
Yes. Well, it explains why she's so dogmatic about the Hulk.
I see.
So, they show at the morgue there's a huge hole in the wall.
Yep.
The house has been destroyed by the Hulk. And then they find this guy, Thomas Edward Hill, the schlub who shot those people in the gas station. Every bone in his body's broken. He'll never walk again. He's just a complete mangled mess.
Yikes.
I'm surprised he's
They didn't
alive.
kill him, yeah.
Yeah. And they said, like, is there anything more? The reporter's talking to the detective. And the detective's like, yeah, there is more. He's the guy who committed the robbery.
Right.
Yeah.
We found the gun
yeah.
in like a crumpled up
The
ball.
gun was next to him. It wasn't a ball, but they did have the gun with him.
Uh-huh.
And it had his prints on him, and it matched the casing that was at the scene. And so, that's that.
Yep.
And
Cool.
And we're thinking it was probably the Hulk.
Yeah.
So, then we cut back to the Hulk.
What about all of the bikers that died?
She says that they're all in stable condition, but they all have horribly broken bones.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hulk
So the
doesn't
Hulk's
kill
not a
them.
murderer.
No,
okay.
no.
See, that's what this book is missing.
I know. I was also a little disappointed he didn't murder everybody.
Yeah.
Like, if the Hulk only kills bad people, then and it's like, well, but he's a hero though. It's like, well, you still publish Punisher books though.
Well,
Right.
he used to be a hero, but then he came back.
Yeah,
and
he's changed. He could be
Yeah.
anything.
Well, and you can also say like, oh, well, yeah, this is the Hulk, but like Hulk has like 18 personalities, and like only one of them is a murderer.
And you want to make like a horror book?
This
like,
one's
you
not
do that.
a murderer.
Yeah.
This one just mangles you.
Right. So
He's the Mangler.
Yeah, Mangler Hulk.
Mangler Hulk.
Because they all have to have names. They're all
Right.
something Hulk.
There's something. Yeah.
But so Bruce Banner is like holed up in some divey motel, and he's looking at the mirror in the bathroom, and he says, "I'm not a bad guy, am I?" And then he says to himself, "What do you think?" And you see this horrible image of the Hulk.
Jeez.
So Bruce just goes across America, getting into adventures. Each issue is another adventure.
Right.
And so,
Doesn't seem like it's an adventure. It seems like it's.
well, it's kind of
It's like a
one-sided.
horror show.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, and
No, I encounter terrible things, and then I do terrible things to those people.
yes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't solve anything.
Well, no, it does. There's retribution for what they
yeah,
did.
I bring
And I bring them to
justice.
justice.
I don't
avenge.
bring anyone back to life. I don't save
No, but
anyone.
Hill would have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
And now he didn't.
And maybe killed more people.
But maybe
Yeah.
the Hulk could have saved the little girl.
well,
but he
no, I
didn't.
didn't.
Right, he didn't.
It was
Yeah.
daytime. He
He
couldn't.
really is the Punisher. He's just
Yeah.
he's like he's a lot like the Punisher. He doesn't fix anything
No,
really.
and he
just-
doesn't. Yeah, no. Listen. Admittedly, it's
But
not the most stable system,
Yeah.
but
Well, it's a horror book.
It's a
though,
horror
so
book.
It's not
It's
supposed
not
to be
gonna
about
be-
saving people.
yeah, exactly.
All right. He just randomly wanders, or does he have a plan?
He's looking for a plan.
Okay.
Because
And that's the other thing. Like, if he's just wandering around from town to town, how does this reporter keep following him?
Well, it's
Well, because every time the Hulk does something, he breaks something really big.
Right,
And
right.
now there's another sighting.
Yep.
And they just go to 3 states away.
I'm on the
Yeah,
Hulk's
see ya.
tail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Bruce
Maggie, you
Banner
have a column
basically.
to make.
I know it's true. It's McGee. That's her last name.
No, I know. I was just
Yeah,
giving her
she's
first
writing
name.
other random
Maggie
articles on the
McGee.
way. She's writing articles about small town America
Right.
on the side while she pursues the Hulk.
Somebody makes a point to her where they're just like, you write for a local paper and you're 3 states away. Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So we get an insight into Bruce and how he's wandering America. And how he's just like, I don't have anything but the clothes on my back until they get destroyed, and then I gotta steal clothes, and I maybe some of those clothes have money in them, and I use them to like buy food, which I occasionally enjoy. So like here I am in a diner, and I'm ordering my favorite breakfast, and I'm just kind of trying to enjoy the simple pleasures. That's all that I've got left.
Because I haven't eaten in 7 days.
Yeah.
Because the last clothes I stole didn't have any money.
Well, it's true.
I guess no one will employ Bruce Banner.
No. Well, he's
Okay.
too recognizable.
Isn't he a genius? Can't he just
He
like
is.
make a little bit of cash on the side?
With his what? With
Smarts. I don't know. Just pick up a job somewhere for like a couple of days.
What is his gamma radiation degree going to have? What does that make him like a better engineer? Is he going to build like transmissions?
I mean, he knows science.
Yeah. If this book were written in 1972, yeah. In 2019, it's harder for anyone just wander middle America and just go like, oh, I see you have a help wanted sign in your bar window. I'm the bartender now. Like, no, there's background checks, man. He doesn't have a
Yeah,
Facebook
that's
page.
true.
It's gonna raise some alarms. They're
Legit
not gonna let him
company's
in.
not gonna hire him
Especially
unless-
if like they have facial recognition software in anyone's phone. If an 11-year-old can know who you are, what your entire background is from one click,
Right.
they know who Bruce Banner is.
plus Bruce
Also,
Banner's
he was an
dead.
Avenger and dead.
So
Yeah.
he does. You can't. He doesn't have ID, probably.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Even if he did, he would have lost it like 8 changes ago.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
it's funny because Ewing does a fun job of explaining his status quo while also poking holes into how it could actually be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is he staying in a hotel? Hotels are incredibly expensive, even the
Right.
shitty ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how hard it is to find $90? Like, just find it.
Yeah.
Not earn it. Find it.
Yeah. You,
So
you
he's a
gotta
thief.
steal. Yeah.
Right, and we don't cut to those. We don't
Well,
go
we
into
don't see that. We
he's
just-
not a thief.
we don't go
mention
into like him finding like crappy houses that don't have security systems in them, and then like breaking into their place and like being
stealing.
like, damn it, like the dad doesn't have anything in his underwear drawer, but the kid is a piggy bank. Oh, what a moral quandary I'm in. I guess I better take this. I'm stealing from children now. Who am I? Like,
Yeah, he
always
doesn't
looking
do.
at- he
He just gloss right over.
we can skip past that. He glances a look in the mirror. The Hulk's like looking at him like judgmentally. Like, no, there's no moments like that. We just skip past that.
Only I could get to you, Bruce.
Yeah, every person I'm strangling, I'm smashing is you. So anyway, he's
That'd
having
actually be pretty deep.
it's kind of that already.
They've done that before, haven't they? Where they have an adversarial
Oh, they are,
relationship.
and they do. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really rough. But it's interesting
Yeah, but
because
it's always been Bruce who hates the Hulk versus
No, Hulk
the
hates
No,
him.
Hulk hates
Yeah.
Bruce too.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Hulk resents Bruce.
being tied to him.
Well, because
right?
Bruce is like trying to
he's
keep
weak.
him from coming out.
It's a lot of facets. Like sometimes he's mad because like Bruce tries to kill him by like removing him.
Yeah.
Sometimes he hates him because like he's puny and he's like he's a pale reflection of him. He's like, people think you're the hero, but it's me. Or people think you're valuable because you're intelligent, but it's me.
Right.
I do the work.
I do all the hard stuff.
Yeah. And that's a very superficial analysis of the Hulk and Bruce Banner's relationship. And
Yeah.
remember, like, there's many different personalities to the Hulk, and Bruce Banner himself is an effed up individual. I mean, like, the dude, Bruce Banner, was raised by a mother and father, but his mother was murdered by his father, and then his father and he got into a fight over his mother's gravestone, and he killed his father by bashing his head into the gravestone.
Okay, I do not
Then
remember this.
his
This is crazy.
father's spirit went into him, and he had to fight with his own father. Like, his father
What?
became a villain in the Hulk series.
My God!
Yeah. No, Hulk has, like, really weird supernatural stuff going on with him, despite the fact that, like on the
Before he
surface-
ever became the Hulk.
Yeah, and a lot of it's retconning. But,
Yeah.
before he even got hit by the bomb, he was messed up and crazy.
Yikes.
Okay.
That's a lot.
So Bruce is basically like, he also makes a point of saying, like, the arrow that hit me, there are parts that I'm missing. Not of, like, my past. Thank fucking God. The last thing I need is another story where somebody's trying to piece
together their
together
past,
their
yeah.
past. I don't care. Stop trying to make everyone Wolverine.
Yeah.
So instead, he's just kind of like the Hulk could make like interdimensional doorways and like cloaking wrist-mounted things. I can't do that anymore. I'm just a physicist now. Like, I lost all that stuff.
All that like hyper reality.
Yeah, all that
Stuff
super
that no one
scientist
can
stuff.
actually do.
Yes.
I'm just a normal
I'm a normal
smart
super
person
genius.
I
who
forget-
exists, like in the real world.
Right.
Everything from Reed Richards.
Yeah. Reed Richards can do all that crap. He can make a room that sends your children 15 minutes into the future.
You know, for safety.
Right.
For safety.
Not because like I just need a goddamn moment of quiet.
And I think exactly. We all know Reed. We were on to you. But it's also a way for Ewing to be like, this is how Bruce doesn't just like break into an auto shop and build a flying car and go to an Avengers mansion and just like
Right.
make all his problems go away.
Right. He can't do that anymore.
Can't do that anymore. Also, he doesn't want to. So instead, Hulk kind of like, and we also established earlier on that Hulk has another power, which is that he can absorb the gamma radiation from other people. They made a lot of Hulks in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some would say too many. And at one point or another, between that, his death, and now, when he came back, he could also like absorb. So he took away a lot of Hulks. It's another
You think
power.
the Hulk would just like crush an ATM one time? Here, Bruce.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of all
He
your
just
shit.
grabs it and then goes into the alley where he's sleeping and just like leaves it there. That
Crack
could
it
be
open.
it.
Yeah. That'd be fine.
I'll take that. It beats the other scenario we just created. But anyway, the other idea is that he can like kind of sniff out gamma. Now.
Gamma radiation.
Characters.
Yeah, and radiation.
All right.
Okay.
So anyway, Hulk decides, or Bruce decides, that he's just gonna like go into bars and like see if people need help. He's gonna
Kind of help.
you know like
You know, like,
the only
the
kind of help that a evil, sadistic Hulk can provide.
Yeah, not
Right.
like, oh, I need to realign this bar stool like it's wobbling a little bit.
No, like, do you need
No,
me to
like-
break anybody?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, anybody.
Yeah, you know, like maybe all the bones in their
Like their
bodies and they're never to
bones.
walk again.
I've never met anyone who needs that much breaking.
You know, you got
All right,
like
well,
like
next bar.
You got like the mob is after you or
Right,
something.
yeah. Well, the next bar, excuse me.
Yeah.
So Bruce is wandering through a town, and he sees in one of the honor boxes the headline of the local newspaper, which says, "Local press, mayor says mystery deaths are nothing to worry about."
Oh, that's
Oh,
front page news.
that's not
Nothing's happening.
That's not suspicious. So he goes to the bar and he's like, so are these mystery deaths anything to worry
Yeah,
about?
so are the papers right? Are they nothing to worry about?
They're like, of
Yeah.
course not. Didn't you read the paper this morning?
It says right on the front page.
So the local, the local town wise black guy is like, oh, I know something about this, and then you're like, oh, you're a character I've seen in everything.
Yeah, you're Morgan Freeman.
It looks a lot
Yeah.
like Morgan Freeman.
He just got out of prison. He gave her an impassioned speech to the parole board about being rehabilitated, and then he comes to this bar.
No, I'm not rehabilitated. Yeah, you're just gonna tell me no, and you're just gonna put me away again. So frankly, I don't give a damn.
Rehabilitated.
Now you're an American. You're angry.
All right, yeah.
You're cynical and you're giving up.
The American justice system works. So anyway, he talks about how the mystery deaths are connected to grief. That like everyone who died were unhappy and were grieving, and the whole town is grieving over the law. And it all started with this one boy who was like the town legend, the Fry boy. Apparently there was this boy who was like, star quarterback, good-looking kid, off to a promising school. And
Oh, he wasn't like a nerd, and like he was delivering pizzas, and he got knocked into a time machine that froze him for 1,000 years.
No, not that Fry boy.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he gives Bruce the the thread to follow the narrative
Right.
for this adventure.
Okay.
Where he's like, there was this kid, he had a promising career, he was all great, he had a dad who loved him, blah blah blah. Mom died, early on, and then he had an embolism, just died, and like no one really got over it.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like the town's hero.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then other people started dying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then and it's basically like a sadness washed over the town that never really went away.
Okay, did they also have embolisms?
No, they all died of radiation poisoning. So then Bruce goes to the grave of the Fry boy, Delbert Fry, and he's like,
Okay, no, you're not allowed to be a hero with the name Delbert.
yeah. Listen, that's how bad things are here in this town. Delbert can succeed. Apologies to every Delbert family.
We need more Delbert license plates. More Delbert license plates.
I'm sorry, were you referring to me?
No, my son is also named Delbert.
And that's not Dilbert. Delbert.
Delbert.
Yeah.
So Bruce suspects something, so he feels the soil, and he can feel the gamma radiation in it, and he's like, oh, crap. So he goes to a payphone, and he calls basically like the CDC or whatever.
Okay.
And he's like, no, I'm telling you, there is a horrible, dangerous level of gamma radiation in this small town, in this cemetery, in this grave.
Just come with a Geiger counter.
You got to come here with a Geiger counter. And they're like, well,
Sure, crazy man on the
exactly.
phone.
And he's like,
Oh yeah, and we'll just investigate the crop circle.
Right,
And
yeah.
all the aliens that are out there.
and he goes, he's like, I can't give you my name. And they're like, all right, fine. You want a name? It's Bruce Banner. Are you coming now? Oh, stay by the phone, you say? Sure thing. And so then he hangs up and he hides. But like, that's enough to bring them running. And so they
Okay.
investigate the thing. But then he follows.
So he's on the run?
No, he just doesn't want to be found.
Oh, I see.
All he would have to do is be like, hello, U.S. government, I think there's a terrorist planning something.
Right,
Yeah.
they'll show up anyway.
Yeah.
So Bruce is like, good, they're going to figure that out. Now I'm going to investigate the other thing that I saw, which is he saw on his way through town. He saw a flash of green for just a second on a mountainside. So he went to the mountain to see what was going on, and indeed, he was right to do so because he found this gamma-irradiated corpse guy who was Dr. Fry. Oh, he's also surrounded by the mummified corpses of all these other people. It's all these mysterious deaths that have been going on in town.
Yikes.
Okay.
And the guy says, I'm sorry, I'm just so sorry. And he's like, oh, you're Dr. Fry, Delbert's father.
Yeah.
He says, yes, I am sorry. I'm just sorry that I can't let anybody find me here. And he tries to attack him. And then the sun starts to go down. So Bruce changes into the Hulk, and then the Hulk like holds him down with his massive Hulk hands. And Dr. Fry is like, oh my God, you're Bruce Banner, you're him. I've based all my work on you. When my wife died, everyone told me to picture like the afterlife, and I just couldn't visualize it.
You understand, I'm a scientist.
Right.
I know
so
it's a lie.
All I imagined was like just nothingness, and it terrified me. So I wanted to basically like beat death.
Couldn't the Hulk just tell him, be like, oh, it exists. Heaven exists.
Right?
Well, it's too late now. He's already a monster.
Yeah, he's already done it. Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
He's telling
You know
him what
how many
he already
superheroes
did.
I've met that have actually been to heaven in the afterlife?
Right? Yeah, well, maybe the Avengers should hold a friggin' press conference sometime. Hey, everyone! By the way,
Don't try to cheat death. You don't need to.
every major religion is real and true. Valhalla, heaven, Judeo-Christian, whatever.
That would make this guy lose his mind because he became a monster trying to beat death.
No. Yeah, it would actually make it even worse.
Yeah.
So he talks about how he basically was like, but I heard about how like you got hit by a bomb and you didn't die. Like you conquered death. So he followed in Bruce Banner's work and worked on another form of gamma radiation therapy. And he basically like he used his influence as a doctor and some of his gamma work to further like cancer research, but used findings and help and combinations thereof to further his own research, which of course he tested on himself to do so.
Sure.
When he did, he found out that like it's working, and he started to get like younger and stronger, and there were no side effects after a couple of months of him doing this.
Okay.
And he's like, "So you used it on your son?" He's like, "Yeah, well,
Thank God.
he was gonna go pro as a football player, and those concussions and death, and I'm afraid of death. So I administered this treatment to my son, and then gamma blood just oozed out of his face, and he died.
Like one treatment.
Yeah.
Yikes. That's horrifying.
That is horrifying.
Then he realized that he started to glow. Like it's starting to like the change took place over time, but like Dr. Fry himself started to become like a gamma monster.
Well, yeah, you did irradiate yourself.
Why did it work differently for him than his son?
I guess because it was attuned to his own physiology, but like it didn't.
Well, the genetics are different.
He's
Like,
just
he's got his
immune.
mom's genes in there.
Yeah.
And she died. Look at that.
Right. It just didn't. It's different strokes.
Yeah. Okay.
But basically, he's like, so we just said that my son had an embolism because I was too afraid to admit that I killed my son.
Sure.
And then I just kind of like wouldn't let anyone near me. And it's a good thing that happened because then I started to change, and then I like hid in the caves.
And now I have to live off of people's life essences?
No, he just kills people who find him.
Oh.
I can't let anyone find him.
Wow. So it's literally just people stumble upon him and he murders them?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Why doesn't he move farther away or something?
Well,
I don't know.
I
just love this town.
I have to live kind of close to home, otherwise how am I going to eat?
Right.
What?
But anyway, so what happened is, and there's a theme of the walking ghost phase,
Okay.
which is knowing that you're terminal but feeling fine. It's actually a term where it's like if you have terminal illness, but you still like have if you don't have any symptoms,
Right.
Like you are dead, but you don't know it or feel it.
You don't feel it.
So they call it being a walking ghost.
Okay.
Bruce talks about how he's a walking ghost, and then like these people are walking ghosts, and then like he's the walking ghost. I guess like if you were to call this guy a villain, he'd be the walking ghost. In any event, I'm mentioning it just because it's part of the book.
Yeah.
But the idea here is that like Delbert was irradiated, and so a person who went to grieve Delbert got irradiated by Delbert, and then they died. And when they were put in the ground, people came to visit them, and they got irradiated. So like it was just this perpetual cycle.
That's a whole lot of radiation, man.
It was a lot.
And it's fast acting.
Yes.
Okay.
That's not how radiation works, but okay. Clearly, the gamma rays in Marvel are different than real gamma rays because
What about this guy? Like,
into the holes.
people find him and he just like drinks their life essence.
He just touches them and they like wither away.
Wow.
We don't really see how he does it.
Okay, so people are dying both from going to graves to grieve people and from stumbling upon this cave.
That's the mysterious deaths, but like there's also like disappearances, and those are the people in the cave.
Okay. There's multiple vectors of dying.
Yes.
Here.
That's actually the perfect like byline where like there are all these mysterious deaths and all these people have gone missing. Like maybe they left town.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're scared.
It's a mystery.
Right.
So then Hulk buries him underground.
Didn't kill him?
No.
No. Well,
No.
he probably can't. He's immortal.
Well, first he rips off his arms and legs.
Oh my God.
And then he just buries him underground.
Oh, so he does kill him.
Oh,
But
no.
slowly.
Dr. Fry, he can't die.
Right.
Dr. Fry can't die.
No, and he's like, but I wish you'd killed me. Like, death must be better than this.
Yeah. That's a horrifying image.
Oh, I know. It's
just
awesome.
him underground.
Yep, just stuck there. Buried alive. Hulk! So then they exhume Delbert and he's alive.
Oh, they exhume him. Why?
Well, because they're finding the source of the radiation problem.
Oh, the people
Delbert's alive?
Because Hulk called the CDC or
exactly,
whoever.
or whoever.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's all, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Because he got the same treatment, I guess.
So then the next issue is a kind of like, here are 3 different perspectives on the adventure that took place. Meanwhile, the whole thing is being compiled by McGee, who is writing her story, because like this was big enough where she heard about it and then followed it to its inevitable conclusion.
Sure.
They did wind up capturing the kid, and then since he's alive and he's gamma irradiated, they just kind of like put him into Supermax. You know, they just keep him as a like he's you know, because he's not dead now.
And did Hulk?
He's not dead now, but
Yeah, Hulk
he never
defeated him.
committed any crimes.
Well, yes, he did actually.
He shot people with his gamma radiation.
He irradiated a girl that he was seeing, and she died. He winds up inadvertently killing a teenage girl and irradiating her as well. And he talks about seeing a green door. That's another piece of the mystery of the Immortal Hulk.
Right.
Is this green door, which is actually a thing from the Hulk comics, and so we won't get into that right now. And it's also etched in the wall, in gamma rays or whatever.
Which wall?
The wall of the hotel where they were keeping the body of the girl. After Hulk defeats Hotshot, and then like
they find where she is.
Yeah.
And she's dead. And it says green door.
Exactly. So Jacqueline McGee, the reporter, gets a call on her phone from an unknown caller, and it turns out it's actually Walter Langowski, and Walter Langowski is Sasquatch from Alpha Flight.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, "Hey, I'm reading your stuff about the Hulk, and you want like more information. I was his college roommate, and also I'm Sasquatch, and so like we fought and stuff. I'll be more than happy to like provide some expert information about him."
If you want, you can take a fuzzy picture of me in the woods.
Yeah, a blurry picture.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he also sees himself as a monster.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone who turns into a monster sees the monster when they look in the mirror.
Precisely.
That's the thing.
Yeah. So.
But are they really seeing it, or is that just like a
visualization
device
of
that the artist uses?
Oh, it's a device.
But he's really looking at it though.
Yeah, but he really sees it though.
I feel like sometimes I think unless you see their reflection, like the reflection and reaction of the protagonist, it's metaphorical.
Right.
Unless they're like, oh, in which case,
unless they react to it as if they're scared.
Yes.
Or it's unusual.
Yeah. So Langowski meets up with McGee.
He is a horribly drawn.
I
mean,
love
he's
his
well
design.
drawn, and he looks like
He's so creepy.
uncomfortable to look at.
He is very uncomfortable to look at. I love his depiction in this because he is so on and so intense and so interested, and he's so much so that you're like, I don't trust this guy.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, but that's Sasquatch. Sasquatch is on Alpha Flight. They brought him in on the like space version of Alpha Flight. Like Sasquatch is a superhero. He's been on these teams. He's been in the books.
Yeah. Is he like this?
Yeah, but you're waiting for him to turn into a bad guy. You're waiting for that smile to like crack a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's
'cause he's
already
named
pretty cracked.
Sasquatch.
It's pretty messed up and weird. But you know, he's really intense, and he's just down to talk about the Hulk.
Yeah.
And how like Bruce was really intense and weird and like was never fun because Walter Langowski, aka Sasquatch,
AKA Bradley Cooper.
Right?
That's what he looks like.
Yeah, more or less.
Like a creepy Bradley Cooper.
Man, he'd be great if they were ever going to make an Alpha Flight movie.
Which
also,
they won't.
He's the voice of Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? Listen.
You know, he changed his voice a little bit
he
to
does
be
a
Rocket.
voice.
Lord of the Rings, they had Gimli play Gimli and Treebeard, and he's completely indistinguishable. He's doing a Gimli voice as Treebeard. Screw you should have gotten somebody else. That being said, you know, they've done it before. They could do it again. Plus, they need to have Bradley Cooper's beautiful face in those movies. He's just so dreamy. I just love looking at Bradley Cooper. He's so great. He's the best part of those Hangover.
Can you believe the chemistry between him and Lady Gaga?
I know. Bruce Banner went to many colleges, but one of them, Langowski also went to, and they were roommates.
And they were roommates.
So Langowski was a jock, and
Bruce was
a nerd.
Yep, and and bum ba da ba da.
And they both became monsters.
Right.
You don't understand,
so
Bruce. I'm trying to mack it with like 3 chicks, and you're just nerding up the
He's
room
not.
here.
No. Actually, Langowski's like, Gamma, huh? That seems cool. I should get into Gamma. He's like, no. You get the babes, and you get to play football. Gamma's mine. This is Langowski's interpretation.
Of course.
Okay, yes.
But that's probably how it went because Bruce is kind of a whiner.
Yeah.
So then we see.
No, it's all passive aggressive.
Yeah.
He would like write in his journal and be like, Langowski tried to get into Gamma again. Yeah. That jerk.
I hope he
when's
fails.
When's he gonna learn that?
Then
and I'm just gonna leave my.
I'm gonna leave it out.
open to that page for him.
Does he understand how it makes me feel when he's crowding in on my turf?
I wish he did.
I wish there was some way.
That he could understand how I feel, how that makes me feel, and how it affects our friendship.
Hey, Langowski, are you going to read that? It looks like he left it open for you.
Yeah, no.
No, I know he wants me to read it.
I don't need to read a single page in that book to know exactly what every page of that book says. Hey, Bruce, you have to journal open again.
Oh, whoops.
So anyway.
I hope no one read it.
So anyway, Langowski talks about how basically he became Sasquatch because of the Hulk. Like that after Hulk left that college and then went into the Gamma program and got hit by the bomb and then became the Hulk. He's like, wow. So then he went full on into Gamma.
How many people are just irradiating themselves with Gamma in this world?
At least 5.
He was just like, it's so awesome how he irradiated himself and became the Hulk. I have to do that
He got
too.
hit by a bomb.
I know, but
was an
like,
accident.
Yeah, but in the process of researching Gamma, it turned him into a monster. So like, wow,
Yeah.
I want to get into that.
Yeah,
like,
so he
what?
does and becomes Sasquatch.
Meanwhile, there's probably 300,000 people that are like, yeah, cancer.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
statistically speaking, out of everyone on the planet, like 5 people might become monsters. That's not bad.
If one person can become a monster, like there's
Then
going
at
to be
least
more
2
people
or 3
becoming
more.
monsters. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
talking outliers here.
He's describing the experience of becoming like a Hulk monster.
Yeah.
And he's like, it was a trip, let me tell you. And
Yeah.
Do you like that? Do you want to bang me now, McGee?
no, I don't.
No.
No. So, but
I hear
McGee is
you
like,
like
wow,
monsters.
like a trip, and she cuts back to being a little girl with her father, and her father is telling her like, don't look at him, don't look into his eyes, and
He's like a dog.
and she can't help herself, and she sees, and so we cut back to like this moment of McGee and her father being caught in a Hulk rampage. So the Hulk is walking by, and the father is warning Jacqueline, like, don't look him in the eye.
Right.
Kind of like, don't make him come
make
over
him
here.
freak out.
But she can't help it, so she locks eyes with the Hulk. And that's all we see. So then, so McGee's like, all right, well, we gotta hit the bars. Because, like, that's what Bruce Banner does.
He
goes to bars, and he asks leading questions about the local gentry and seeing, like, what the latest adventure is.
Right.
And then picks up the quest and goes on it.
How come the book is taking such a different turn for the narration on this?
I don't know. Oh, because they're trying different things.
Yeah.
They're trying a
Every
bunch of
book's a
different
little
things.
different.
Yeah.
Like, they had the Hulk in the first one where he, like, freaks out, and then he's, like, searching the town for the guy who's in the mountain.
Yeah.
But then they give an entirely different issue where it's all these different perspectives, and now we don't even have the Hulk.
No.
No.
He'll be in
Sasquatch
it.
and
but
McGee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's experimental. It's a very
Exactly.
experimental book.
Yeah. So McGee is talking to the bartender. She's like, have you seen this guy? It's just a picture of Bruce Banner on her phone. They're like, oh yeah, he came in here asking about Noah Swanson. Another hard luck blah 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 story. Who gives a shit? And there's these 2 dudes who are in the bar who are like yelling at each other. And she's like, oh, you 2, knock it out. Like, pipe down. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, those 2 get into it all the time. But it's getting particularly aggressive and getting more and more ridiculous. And Langowski's like, hold on a second, I'll defuse the situation. Because I was a diplomat, I'm a Canadian superhero who is also a space diplomat when I was in Alpha Flight. So I got this. So he goes, gentlemen, please. This little one's not worth the effort. And then he gets stabbed in the back.
stabbed.
Yeah, he literally just gets stabbed and he
Wow.
just collapses and he goes into shock and they're like, ugh. So then they take him to the hospital.
Oh my god.
And they're like, he's gonna die.
Aren't you Sasquatch? Can't you just Sasquatch out?
He's
No, he's unconscious.
He's unconscious now. He can't just transform. It ain't like the Hulk. It
Wow.
ain't a defense mechanism, I guess. So they're like, this guy's dying. So he's on the slab. They got, McGee took him in. So she's just sitting there like, this is messed up and crazy.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he change? Why can't he change into those
Yeah.
aspects? Like, I don't know.
Because it's not nighttime?
What do you
Oh,
want?
I know everything about everything.
Right. Exactly. You're onto something because then, after hours of being in surgery, McGee's just been sitting in the waiting room the entire time, and then a dude walks up to her wearing a inconspicuous Marvel hero nondescript baseball cap.
Yeah, down
and
over
sits
his
down.
face. Yeah.
By the way, baseball caps with nothing written on
Yeah,
them?
that's basically you might as well just say like just an arrow. It says, "Look at me."
I'm weird.
You know how hard they are to find baseball caps with nothing on them?
Very unusual. I digress.
So he says, I hear you've been looking for me. And she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, I've been like following, I've been following hunches. I've been following like these radiation leads to try and like, help
Right.
in some way. That's what I do. I'm a scientist. I'm a doctor. I help. So he says, like, Walter has a very unique signature that's very much almost identical to mine. And so that's what led me here.
Just a little hairier.
Yeah.
Right.
And so she says, wow, like, you can sense that? He goes, no, he can sense it. So then Langowski dies on the table. And he says, you have to understand that, like, just because he was in critical condition, his gamma signature is just like mine. And if it's just like mine, then, nighttime is the Hulk's time. So Langowski dies on the slab as nightfall comes. Then the local attending nurses are like, oh my God!
Right.
And one of them actually says, God above, which is an expression, I guess. It was a narrative device to get Sasquatch to say, God above, quite the reverse, actually. And his text has changed, and he's this horrible, malformed version of Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So Sasquatch is also different?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Sasquatch has been changed as well. But it's not necessarily because, like, Hulk got changed.
It's more like they were always like this.
Yeah. Well, it's like, if Sasquatch were to die, I guess at nighttime he would have turned into Sasquatch and been reborn anyway, because that's how, like, gamma
Just
radiation
never came
works,
up
too.
before, perhaps.
Yeah, it just never came up before. Or it's more that, like, it was an opportunist time, because, like, what we establish here is that, like, Sasquatch goes on a friggin' rampage. We get a little flashback first where it's like, Sasquatch's on Alpha Flight, he's on the station, he's having a good time doing his thing, and Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, who's in charge of Alpha Flight, is like, hey, so, like, it's been a couple months and you still haven't been Langowski yet. Like, you've been Sasquatch a lot.
Yeah. I've been talking to Sasquatch for 2 months.
It's not that I really have a problem with you being Sasquatch. It's the fact that you're
everywhere.
Yeah, and, like, you're wrecking the bathroom, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Maybe you could
we
just
appreciate
turn...
you go, but, like,
Well, maybe
you
you
understand
turn back
how-
into Landowski, like, before you take a dump, and then convert back to Sasquatch
bathe.
after.
Before you take a
we're
shower,
on a
because that
space
drain
station.
is like,
There's only a finite amount of water
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
Langowski. Come on.
It's just practical.
I like the idea of, like, a couple people just giving him a hard time. Like a tribunal. And he's like, all right, I feel kind of ganged up on here. You go easy on
It
me,
just
guys.
feels kind of obvious
I
that you
get it.
should be smaller for these certain activities.
I'm sorry. I've been so busy, like, being Sasquatch 24/7. I don't think about those things. Well, maybe it's time you should.
We're not fighting bad guys 24/7. We don't need Sasquatch 24/7.
Yeah.
It'd be
I'm
easier.
24/7, man.
I'm just saying it would be easier on literally everyone who's not you if you
You eat
would
5
convert
times
back.
as much as Langowski.
Okay, all right. Point taken.
Okay.
So then he goes to the bathroom and he's like, okay, fine. You want Walter? Well, then and it's like, he's like, that was really hard. Like, it was hard to change back.
Huh. Okay.
Is it because it's always nighttime in space?
No. No, it's just that he hasn't done it. Banner's like, well, I gotta go check on him because it's nighttime and there's some. I'm hearing screaming coming from his
It
area.
sounds like there might
Wait,
be
if
some
it's already
screaming.
nighttime, how come he's not the Hulk?
Because he isn't, like, the Hulk wants to come out.
Oh,
the
he's
Hulk's
holding
come-
them in.
Yeah, Bruce is looking at one of the, like, the windows and, like, he's seeing the reflection of the Hulk, like, trying to get out. So I guess it is physically you see him visually there. But
Yeah.
the Hulk's trying to get out. He's like, hey, it's nighttime. Come on, it's my time. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's like, all right, but he knows it's going to change. So he's like, well, then I'll go see what the hell's going on with Langowski. So he goes into the room, and all the nurses are dead. And Sasquatch's like licking his fingers from all the blood that he's got on him. And he's like,
Oh.
hey, Walter, what's going on, man? And Sasquatch says, I'm not Walter.
You're out of your element here, Donnie.
He goes, no, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the real you. And he slashes Bruce Banner's throat and kills Bruce Banner. And he goes, it always hurts, doesn't it, Bruce? And he goes, yeah, always. And then changes into the Hulk again. He says, and when you hurt Banner, I take it personally. And then they fight. And he goes, now I know you're not actually Langowski.
Yeah,
There's
no.
somebody else in there.
You're like a monster.
And he's like, because Langowski, Sasquatch, he wasn't murdering people.
Right.
He's not a monster, even though he looked like a monster.
Right. He was turning into a monster.
So he's trying to goad Sasquatch into revealing who is actually inside. I mean, it is Langowski, but it's like who's inhabiting Langowski's body. The way in which Langowski gets possessed by something is that he stayed as Sasquatch too long.
Okay.
And that when he finally changed back into Langowski, he went through the green door, the gamma door, that allows you to, like, switch places with each other. You know, like Langowski and Sasquatch.
Okay.
That there is, like, a metaphorical door.
Right.
A green door made, like, from the gamma. That allows
Yeah, but there's
you to
actually
go-
a door, though.
But there is really a door, though, there. Bruce saw it when he became the Hulk.
Yeah.
And I
And
guess...
Delbert saw it.
I guess, yeah, Delbert saw it, too. And I guess Langowski saw it, too. And that was the idea, is that, like, that's why Delbert was such, like, a murderer. There was something inside Delbert that made him do...
There's always something on the other side of that green door.
Yeah, well, other things can get through it.
Right. It's not just you switching places with the monsters. Like, there's opportunity for another.
Something else to come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he says, like, see for yourself, like, see, little monster, see, because they're grappling, and Hulk holds Sasquatch up against the wall, and then behind them is a window, and he sees the reflection in the window, and it's his father.
Bruce's father?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
That Bruce's father escaped hell and became this like body-inhabiting demon that goes through the green door to get at Hulk.
Oh crap!
And so his father just starts like bashing on him, and he's getting the upper hand because he's got kind of like an emotional advantage on Hulk.
Okay.
And so they smash through like walls. They're destroying the hospital. He also, Bruce, before he went and engaged Sasquatch, he tells McGee, he's like, you got to evacuate the hospital.
Right.
We got 2 Hulk monsters.
Yeah.
The whole
hospital's
thing's
not
coming
gonna make
down.
it. Yeah.
And so like McGee's like, come on, let's evacuate. And the nurses are like, there are people here who are in comas and people who can't walk.
Where are they
It's going to
supposed to
take
go?
days to evacuate this hospital. And Hulk is just kind of like, trying to get to the bottom of it. So he's like, dude, tell me who opened the door for you, who made you go through the door. Like, tell me or I'll smash you. And I guess Langowski comes through because his text box changes.
Ah.
And he says, it needs a host or personality. It needs a host personality to function in this world. And it wears the souls like a mask. And so, and they fight. Sasquatch digs his claws into the Hulk's eyes,
Ew.
which is cool.
Gross.
It's really gross and rough.
Yeah.
So the Hulk is blind.
Yeah, but you know he heals fast. He's got a healing factor. So
Whew.
a couple of people try to help the Hulk, like they tase Sasquatch, which momentarily distracts him so that Hulk can get the upper hand.
Yeah.
And then he grabs Sasquatch and he says, like Gamma made Langowski what you are, and keeps the Gamma door open. But if you don't have the Gamma anymore, the door will close. And so he absorbs the Gamma out of him, so there's no more Sasquatch.
Okay.
So Walter Langowski is left behind, and I guess the father gets sent through.
Yeah.
Well, the father is no longer in Langowski. Let's
Yeah.
say
He
that.
goes somewhere else.
Did Bruce's dad come through Delbert or
Yeah.
Dr. Fry?
Yeah. The idea is that like the green door is opened by people who like muck with Gamma.
Right.
And so yeah, his father presumably went through the green door, jumped onto Delbert, and then through Delbert, like kind of followed, you know, to Hulk.
Okay. So he can go into anyone who has gammified.
Yes.
I see.
But can't go through the Hulk.
Maybe he's afraid
Well,
to.
he
doesn't
has
wanna
been like
Yeah,
his
'cause
father
he's
has
fought him
possessed
before.
him.
Yeah. Yeah, but maybe because that didn't work, he's like, no, I got to take someone else over and physically punch the Hulk because
Exactly.
I lost to him on the Mindscape last time I fought him there or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Walter's down. Hulk is still there.
Yeah.
And he's like, there, I took it. McGee's there. She checks on him. She's like, okay, he's alive. He's better. You saved him. And she goes, hey, listen, before you go, I have questions. I've got like a million questions.
Yeah.
And he's like,
All right, time for a one-on-one interview with the Hulk.
Yeah, well, he's
So,
like- he
what's
goes-
your perfect morning like?
sunrise. No, sunset. Because it's nighttime.
Oh yeah. That's. Jesus.
So Hulk is like, you get one question
Oh.
before I go. And she goes, okay, fine. And she starts crying. And she's like, okay, fine. Here's my quick question. How do I do it? How do I get to be where you are?
Ah.
And he's like, oh, go home. And then he leaves, yeah. Yeah, no, he just leaves.
No, I'm not letting this. I'm not letting you pursue it.
He just like uncomfortably walks out. You know, like normally the Hulk would be like, go home. Huh. He just like wanders through the hole that was already made by him. He's just like, And Langowski reveals, like, I can't feel Sasquatch. Normally I knew that he's in there, but I can't. Like, I guess I'm not Sasquatch anymore. Which is like, you know, disappointing 3 or 4 of you.
Oh no, not Sasquatch.
And then Hulk walks out. But the reason why he doesn't, like, run away is because he has to walk away. And he's walking out of the parking lot. He passes the car, he looks in the mirror, and he sees his father inside of him.
Ah.
That's where he went.
He went inside Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's always one more.
Yeah.
What, does it end there?
Yeah. Well, there's a backup about like the green door being opening. It's basically explaining how he came back from Civil War II
Ah.
and No Surrender.
Does it make sense?
Yeah. I mean, like, in as much as it makes sense that a gamma irradiated monster can walk through a metaphysical doorway that is generated in the afterlife through chicanery with gamma radiation, yeah, it makes total sense.
So it doesn't. Cool. Got
I
it.
mean, it makes perfect sense in its own context.
Yeah, if you accept all those things are real, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Hulk was always a scientific kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not a,
Yeah.
there's a doorway to hell
He has
kind of
origin,
thing.
right? But there is though, and he has origins in science, but he's also
Yeah.
there's something supernatural about the Hulk, and that's what Ewing wants to talk about, and he's been doing it, and it's been going really well.
Yeah. Well, gamma rays are science, and magic is just science that you don't understand or fucking whatever.
I mean,
so.
Sure, but they don't even go like the Thor route from
Okay.
the movie. No, like there is magic and science, and you can use one to get to the other sometimes, but usually it screws things up because like you're not really supposed to use one to get to the other.
Well, the Hulk is pretty screwed up. So.
Yeah, exactly. So like no one's gonna call him on it.
Yeah.
So the Immortal Hulk is a mystery and a horror book because you're like, who is Hulk's father? Why is he
Right.
doing this?
Well,
Turns out it's not actually his father.
It's just the
What?
demon that's pretending to be his
Another
father.
demon. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Tell me it's not
And
Mephisto.
It's not Mephisto, but Mephisto is involved.
Of course he is.
Because it's hell. You're
it's
dealing with
hell,
hell.
yeah.
Oh, there's a whole story where Hulk goes to hell.
Oh.
It's cool.
Was
Like
he trying to get someone out?
it's
No, I think he's
it
trying to
like
make a
a-
deal.
no.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not Faust or Peter Parker. But yeah, it's dope. If you like horror, if you like science fiction horror.
McGee goes away, right? Like she's done after
No.
this.
No, she's clearly going to
No,
keep...
she wants to be a Hulk.
That's my point. I want her
She's
to.
a-
I want the Hulk to be like,
Yeah.
no, you're done.
You want us to set up a 6-issue story in which we establish a new character and then to reveal her motivations at the end of that story arc and then have her go away forever.
Yeah.
Just when she gets interesting, make her go away.
She's not interesting though.
Okay, but she is to other people.
Yeah, she was clearly the person who wrote her thought that
Because
was
she wants
interesting.
to be a Hulk.
And they're not going to stop it right there.
I agree. Like, listen.
They're going to let her fulfill her arc.
Yeah.
I assume she becomes a Hulk.
I don't know.
Oh. When did this come out?
Like a year ago.
Oh, okay. So it's not probably done yet.
Oh, no.
No, what's going to happen is she'll become a Hulk, and then the demon will.
The demon will
infest
go in her, and then
Yeah,
the
and
Hulk
then they'll
will have
to
to
fight, and then
yeah.
they'll...
and then she'll die somehow by killing like the demon. But she'll be like, "But I was there."
Or
for a
maybe he'll
minute."
take the gamma from her, and then
Yeah.
she'll resent him and hate him and become a new Hulk villain.
Oh.
You know, whatever. I mean, however
Yeah,
you create new
there's
characters.
a couple different ways you can
There's
go.
lots of ways you could follow that thread. Well, and-
Cool.
yeah, and Ewing does a nice job of investigating further characters in Hulk lore. Like, we do get to see Doc Samson, Hulk's therapist and also gamma irradiated buddy who kicks ass. We deal with like Betty Ross and General Ross. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff that we get in with this. If you're a Hulk fan, like if you're a straight up Hulk fan, you're gonna love this. If you are not a Hulk fan, you might like this, but you'll also become a Hulk fan because you'll be exposed to like all of his history through this new story, which is exactly how comics are supposed to work. That's how good comics work in a narrative, serialized fashion. Like if you're just trying to tell like a one-off, sure, you know, like that's really cool and I want that. But if you want to tell like serialized fiction to get people in and get them reading and then get them reading old stuff and keep reading in the future, that's how you do it. Ewing's a master of serialized storytelling.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And, making each issue feel like its own thing
Its own separate.
while
type
also
of
being
story.
part of a greater narrative.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, you can have a favorite issue while also not quitting the book after
Right,
it.
right, right.
So, I dig it. I think it's cool. I mean, like, is it making me a huge Hulk fan?
Well, I mean, it's not that you weren't a Hulk fan before.
No, it's
You
true.
like the Hulk.
I like the Hulk, but he's not one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
But it's also, like,
But this is a change. Like this is a new direction for how
Yes.
Hulk stories go.
Yeah, this is-
and that draws you in.
essentially David Cronenberg's Hulk, which is what, would sell a lot of issues if you just called it that. But check it out. Again, description, grab the first volume. That's like that's gonna be the litmus test. If you don't like that, you're not gonna like how it goes. The Alex Ross covers are awesome. Each one is a great, cool Hulk poster. Whereas when Alex Ross did all the covers for Amazing Spider-Man, where it's like, here's the mundanity of Spider-Man, done by one of the most like celebrated comic book cover artists in history. Let's devalue his brand by having like 100 sequential issues where we see him fighting everyone from like Green Goblin to the most nameless of super villains. These are like, no, go for it. Like the image of Hotshot shooting a gamma radiation blast through the Hulk's torso and him having a friggin' hole in his body is not only a thing that happens in the issue, but it's depicted on the cover, and the cover could be its own thing anyway.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So just alone, look at the covers, but also read the books. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time on another Wizard of Actions. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
So long. There could be 100 people in the room, but 99 of them wouldn't believe in you. It only takes one, and Bradley Cooper was that one. And like, there's a whole compilation video on YouTube of like the 29th time she says it in like different interviews across like a year. And you're like, that's a great analogy, but like maybe you should come up with something different to say that he's great.
Yeah. Also, like, you're Lady Gaga. You're not a random actress who's not
like,
known.
Oh, I took a chance
I'm
on
sure.
one of the most like sure thing pop icons of this century.
Because we're making a movie about singers.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Nobody believed in Lady Gaga could portray a singer in a movie. Shut up.
Yeah.
Everyone would believe that in a second.
Everyone believed that. No one was against you. You are not.
Who are all these people who didn't believe that you could do
You are not in a Sisyphean situation here. They needed a person who could sing and look like they were singing and pretend to sing. That's you. You can do all those things.
No, I'm a pop singer,
you
not
can-
a country singer.
But I'm not an actress.
Yeah, but you are though, because you pretend to be happy all the time.
Also, like, look at all the shows you've done.
Yeah, you've
of
also
course you're
been
an
in
actor.
you
You're
were
also
in-
an American Horror Story,
Yeah.
you phony jackass.
No, I'm talking about like all the performances.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you get on stage, you're acting.
Yeah.
But that's true.
But nobody believed
No
me.
one would have believed you except for Bradley Cooper. Thank God.
Yeah. That was a tangent.